What are the 4 unique risks to retiree income? We're going to answer that question for you today. My name is Jeremy Finger, Certified Financial Planner and Certified Investment Management Analyst with Riverbend Wealth Management. The first risk we're going to talk about is sequence of return risk. What is sequence of return risk? Well, sequence of return risk is each year you have a certain return on your investments. Okay, sometimes it can be high, sometimes it can be low. However, the sequence of those returns when you're retired matter a lot. And in short, if you have negative returns early in retirement, it's bad for you. And if you have good returns early in retirement, it's good for you. Take a look at this chart from one of our previous blogs. What you can see is you can see the same returns in each particular illustration, but the ending dollar amount that's left is quite different. And that's due to, guess what? Sequence of return risk. Okay, so, Jeremy, what can I do about that? Because we can't really control what the market does, right? True, but you can't control what you do, right? So what we tend to do is guide clients into making sure they have an adequate cash cushion available to them, especially early in retirement. What does that mean? Typically 1 to 2 years worth of living expenses in cash or very short-term investments. Reason being is like if markets go down, what we want to do, because retirees, whether the market's down or not, they need their income, right? When the markets go down, what we do is start supplementing some of that income from their cash accounts and a little bit less from their investment accounts to give those accounts time to recover and the economy to recover. Number 2 risk, longevity risk. What's longevity risk? Well, the longer you live, the longer you need money to live off of. Makes sense? And so roughly the longevity expectation is for a man in their 60s right now is around 82, 83. For a woman, it might be around 84 to 87. What we do is we plan for age 90, maybe even a little more in some instances. So we think through a little bit longer to make sure that we're covering a lot of that longevity risk. Now, another thing if someone can do to protect against longevity risk is have as maximum amount of Social Security benefit possible. Well, Jeremy, how do you do that? We'll take a look at these Social Security blog posts that we did earlier. Long story short, you want to maximize your Social Security benefits because as long as you're living, you should get them. The third risk for retirees' income is tax risk. Well, what is tax risk? Tax risk is changes in taxes as you go through retirement. If you're working, your tax bracket may be high because you have a lot of earned income. When you retire, your income may drop because you're no longer working, right? Your tax bracket could drop. And then you may have years of low tax brackets and then jump back up to maybe early 70s to where you're forced to take required distributions, and that may jump your tax bracket up. We call that the retirement tax valley. You can see an illustration here. But what we tend to try to think through with clients is where are you now, how much income you need, and what are the future tax rates on that income. So what we try to do is plan for that. Like the Tax Cuts and Jobs Act may expire in 2026. If that happens, there may be 1 to 2% jumps in tax brackets, depending on what tax bracket you're in. And then if we think that through, well, it may be that you want to take some income today off of inherited IRA accounts because you might be paying 22% instead of 24%, or 20% versus 22, depending. on your particular situation. The fourth type of risk to a retiree's income is their expense needs, specifically variance in the expenses. Okay, you may have healthcare expenses that jumped up on you. You may have a flood in your house. You may need a new car. Whatever the case may be, there's always a reason why expenses can be very volatile, especially as you age. Typically, when you age, the more and more your healthcare expenses go up, even if you're covered with Medicare. All right, now how we plan for this for retirees is we take into account what Medicare covers and what the average out-of-expense cost is for someone in your age bracket. And we plan for expenses towards the end of life that should cover a majority of your long-term care cost. Okay. Now, if you had the benefit and the beauty of having a long-term care policy that is paid up, that would be fantastic. A lot of times people can't do that now, or it's cost prohibitive to do that. So we have to think in other ways to be able to help prepare for those future healthcare costs. Other types of costs could be, obviously, hey, I need to take care of my kids, help them buy a house, or I'm going to fund my grandkids' education. And all of those are things that we do in our full financial plans, and we put those budgeted in their plans to see how it affects your overall financial picture. Make sense? All right. Thanks for watching. If you found this video helpful, please subscribe to our channel. It helps us. And if you got suggestions on what information you want to know more about or video topics, feel free to reach out to us. We'll love to hear your ideas, and we'll work to create some more good content for you. If you have specific questions about your individual situation, feel free to reach out to us. We're just going to provide you information and help you shoot you in the right direction. And I hope all is well with you and your family, and have a great week. Bye.